Chorded grid, position and direction. What is it? Intersection of two lines, one horizontal and one vertical. Why? Helps with finding something on a map. Interesting fact, wolf pups are born deaf and blind while weighing half a kilogram or 1 pound. It takes 8 months before they're old enough to join in wolf pack hunts. So let's take a look at what we need to do. Step 1, draw. Step 2, use the information and follow the steps. Let's read the question. Plot the route described below. So let's go ahead and do the first step. Start at the circle. As you can see now, we've added a compass and we've added the location of your eyes, which is important because we're going to have to turn left and right. So let's do the next step, which is go forward 3 squares. We've done that, and now we can move on to the next step. It says turn left 1 right angle. Remember, 1 right angle is a quarter of a turn. So we are now facing forward. So now we need to go and go to the left 1 right turn. And now you can see we're now facing to the left, and we're done with that turn, or that step rather. And now we can go forward 2 squares, and now we're done with that step. And now we're going to go ahead and take a look at the next step, which is turn right 2 right angles. So once again, remember 1 right angle is a quarter of a turn. So right now we're facing to the left. So we're going to need to do 2 right angles. So here is 1. So now we're facing forward, which is 1 right angle, which is a quarter of a turn. And now we need to do 1 more quarter of a turn and to face to the right. And as you can see, we are now facing to the right. We are done with this step. And now we can go ahead and move on to the next step and move forward 4 right angles. And we are done with that step. And now we're done with this question. So the question is, what capital letter have you drawn? We have drawn the letter T. Okay, let's take a look at this next example and follow the same type of patterns. And let's take a look at the first step, which is start at the circle. And now, as you can see, we're facing forward. And we've also added the compass. So let's go forward 4 squares. We're done with that step. And now we're going to go on to the next step, which is turn 2 right angles. Once again, a right angle is a quarter of a turn. So when we need to turn 2 to the right. So let's start with the first one. Go 1 to the right. That is 1 quarter turn. So that is only 90 degrees. And now we need to turn again to the right. And now we're facing down. And so, and we're done with this step. And now we can go forward 2 squares, and now we're done with that. Put a little circle there to represent that. And now we need to turn 1 right angle. And so right now we're facing down, and so we need to turn right 1 right angle, or right 1 quarter turn. And so we need to go to the left now. And now we're done with this turn, or this step. And now we can go forward 3 squares. And we're done with this one, and now we need to turn again. And once again, a right angle is a quarter of a turn, so we need to turn 90 degrees to the right, and now we're facing forward. And now we can go ahead, and we're done with this turn, and we can go ahead forward 2 squares. We are done with this, and we can stop, and now we can ask the question, what number did you draw? You drew a 4, and now it is your turn. Part 1. So go ahead and pause the video, and so you can answer this question on your own time. I'll show you answers in 3, 2, and 1. If you got the letter U, congratulations. And if you didn't, there's always tomorrow. Now let's take a look at part 2. Go ahead and pause the video so you can go ahead and answer on your own time. And now I'm going to show you the answer in 3, 2, and 1. Here it is. If you got this one and the first one correct, well done. And if you didn't, there is always tomorrow.